What up, folks? Welcome back to Ultrazilla Toys, and today I have a review of the SH Monsterarts SHIN GODZILLA. Yep, he has arrived from Japan. He got here really quick from HLJ. I'm quite impressed with the service. I paid for it Friday afternoon, and it was on its way by Friday night. Got it Monday afternoon, and it is now Monday night. I am filming this review. I can't believe it. That's crazy. So, anywho, here he is in all his glory. This is a very interesting figure, and I think one that's gonna, divide the fan base a bit. See, I, for the most part, like it. And I think it's really cool as we get closer and closer here. And I have a lot of reasons for that. But all I'm going to say right now to start this is, don't let every review get you down. I am just one opinion. It's every figure, I think, even when it's mass-produced, is different. You guys know that. You're action figure collectors. You know these figures are going to vary from figure to figure. It's just how it is. So, whatever I tell you in this review, it might not be your experience going forward. So I just want to, really, state that, and, hopefully this review helps you, calms you down a little bit, because I know, some of the initial picks we got out of Japan were not so hot on this figure. I do have a couple of gripes, but it's not that bad. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the figure, which I have. If you saw my live unboxing, you'll know I was kind of impressed with it right out of the gate. It is a big figure. It's really big. So he's super tall, and this tail, it just goes on for miles. That's it's longer than my camera here. The viewfinder there. That's crazy. So this is, a big figure. I actually had to change my camera position and my filming station because I couldn't film it there. This is, I just couldn't get this mass in there. So speaking, as we're talking about that, let's bring in a couple of dudes. Just to show you that quick size comparison, here is the Burning Godzilla from Monsterarts. You can see that that's this guy's no slouch. So much bigger figure. And then one of the more deluxe SH Monsterarts, the Destroyer, and head-wise, Shin Godzilla, the horn still gets Destroyer here, but head to head, that's pretty about the same. So yeah, I had a Destroyer a little leaning back there, but these guys look really good together, huh? That's a natural rivalry or friendship. So anywho, back to this dude. I like it. Let's talk about the things that we saw from some of those Japanese picks to start. We saw a lot of crazy super red necks. I have some red here, but it's not really on either side crazy. I will say this figure is all red and black, throughout. Every part of his body has that scheme. So you're gonna get spots where it's gonna saturate more than others, and one is gonna be more dominant than the other. It's just that's just how paint goes, guys. It's having done actual paintings before, I can tell you sometimes it's not easy to control that, and especially on a mass market thing. This is a hard character to get right, I think. I really do, and that's coming from an art sense of point of view. So I do have a couple of problems in that regard. If you can see here, super glossy. So the black was really caked on over here, right on this little shoulder blade on mine. It's like really, it's not really sticky, but like it's super glossy, which the rest really isn't. It's glossy, but like it's got a nice sheen to it. It's not really the same thing. This is just like really caked on over here, and you see this red showing through over here? That was me just like running my finger through it. I did it again. So that's how you know it's too caked on, which means I could probably, like, you know, get some of that off and get it, you know, to match up with the rest. There's also like some extra gloss, and again, I think that's just like too much saturation on the back here. You can see it like shining, and as well as a little bit up here, you know, throughout. You could also say it's like kind of like a wet look. See, I have, when it comes to like kaiju, I do tend to like dismiss a lot of that stuff. You know, to me, there's like, kaiju is so battle damaged, or should be. They should not be perfect. I never like that. You know, like so that's never really bothered me. Your mileage is gonna vary, obviously. You know, you know, you could only be you and your likes, so I can't really speak to that. But for me, I don't mind it that much. I could dismiss stuff like that. The other point of interest is definitely his mouth and his jaw. So bringing him in here, as you can see, it's not crazy, but especially with the red like bleed, like it's not super crazy, because again, like, this is not, you know, it's just the theme throughout. It's just, it keeps going here. I guess, you know, whoever filmed it, you know, there, or took their shots, you know, overseas last week, did have way more here. Again, that's just like, it's gonna saturate one way or the other, or, you know, you could call it paint slop if you want, and it kind of is, but it's kind of forgivable on this figure. I mean, did you see the movie? This is the sloppiest Godzilla I've ever seen. This, you know, he's gross. You know, like, the extra grossness on this figure does not bother me. And here's where it's interesting. Instead of the black, I have like extra white, like his teeth. And I kind of like that. Like, again, you're gonna think that's slop. Oh, look, they just, you know, made that line keep going. You know, they just kept it going down, and that's true, I think, because I've seen, like, I looked at some pictures of Shin Godzilla today, and he doesn't really have that. But I love the idea of like the tooth like sticking through his mouth, because it's like the lip is kind of, you know, a lack thereof, like a little bit of lip there is cutting through the white. So I think that's really cool, and, you know, again, that's going to be something that you're going to have to decide on if you get that on yours. I like it. The eyes. Now, this is going to be an interesting one to either deal with or not, but yes, my eyes are quote-unquote messed up. This eye is looking down, and this eye over here is looking forward. So, or a little bit to this, you know, off, but forward. Now, looking at it like this, you don't see anything. So, why should that bother you? If it bothers you, it bothers you. On this figure, it's not bothering me, because I get a couple of different looks for Shin Godzilla here, and he does look down, and he does look forward, so I'm only going to be posing him one way or the other. I don't mind it. The other, so yeah, I mean, that's a thing, guys. That's a thing that I'm going to be dealing with, and I'm not going to care that much, again. that's up to you if you do, you know, like, to each their own, you know, that's my theme here with this figure, to each their own. You're gonna either let it bother you that you paid whatever you paid for this figure, and you didn't get what you wanted, or you're gonna be like, I think this is cool, I like it because of this, and you could dismiss the problems as something, you know, that makes sense. To me, it does. You know, I'm no kid. You know, like, I'm not trying to, like, justify it to myself. I paid for it, and I like what I got. You know, like, I don't mind it. Is there any, like, crazy gapping? So let's go there. Yes, it's there. You know, the Godzilla gap, but whatevs. I've come to be used to it on Monsterarts Godzillas. That's a part of it. You know, it's kind of hard to do without it. So I'm trying to think of any other problems that we might have here. Oh, my initial problem when I first saw pics, you know, last week was this here, this neck piece. But there you go, it's fixed. You know, it's not really... The pics that we kept seeing were like, this was like way out. You know, like, and you're not going to really have it that way because these dorsal fins aren't going to be that close to each other anyway. So, there's that. You know, that's no longer a problem. Otherwise, this design is awesome. I really love it. It's so funny, like, I saw Shin Godzilla twice. First time, I didn't know how I felt about it. Like, I had a lot of problems. Not problems, but, like, I was just so confused. I was kind of depressed. The movie made me depressed. There was, like, a lot of weird emotions, which I thought was a good thing, to have that kind of, you know, emotions for that movie. But upon second viewing, I seriously fell in love with everything about this movie and this figure. I mean, well, yeah, but this character design, man, and it's carried through here. This is my first figure of this design. I definitely plan on getting more. Have a couple things on pre-order, you know, one thing that's out already and a couple things that are coming out, so I'm looking forward to getting them, checking them out as well. But for now, like, I'm really glad to have this in my collection because of what it meant to me. And you know what? It's not an easy figure to get right now. Like, as you know, it didn't come to the US via regular channels. Something happened, and I am not sure exactly what it was. But, you know, like, you had to get it through the import sites, and that's fine, you know, but it would have been nice to know that prior to those import sites selling out right away, you know. So I was on a fig in stock alert, so a daily alert, and I finally got one, and, you know, really glad it came really quick. So, and I'm able to get this review done super fast. It's leapt ahead of a lot of the Godzillas I've been planning to review, like the 2 GMK ones out and the 54, but, you know, with this one filmed, I think I'm going to be tackling those straight away. But anywho, back to this dude. Let's look at the articulation on this guy, huh? And we'll, like, continue talking about design, because the design is what, like, really, like, does it for me. It's so awesome. It's so evil, but in a, like, a really sympathetic way. It's kind of weird. You really feel for this Godzilla. You really think he's in pain the entire time, and it just comes across here. So the head has that massive, awesome jaw, and it does open up pretty wide. It looks pretty gnarly and awesome in there. I really dig that. Super cool. I know these split a bit in the movie, but I'm kind of glad he doesn't do that here. I'm sure there's going to be a Spitfire version. That's kind of like a no-brainer and all but confirmed at this point, I think. That there will be one sometime next year, and I'm sure that one will have like a bottom jaw that opens up a bit. But that's really good articulation there. He's got, you know, a couple neck joints here that go into this big spike. How'd you guys feel about this spike in the movie? I thought it was, you know, I know some versions of Godzilla has like a little bit of a thing going on here, but this was really pronounced. Believe it or not, like, this was the design element that, like, that made me go, the most. It was like this really protruding, like, chest bone here. So, on his shoulders, you got, like, a joint there, and you got a bicep, and an elbow, and a little wrist swivel. The arms look good, you know, like, you know, Shin Godzilla's got these small arms, but having them a little more articulated and going up into this kind of big shoulder here makes it feel a little better. You know, I don't need completely accurate to the movie, but it's there. It works. I like having a little posability there. You know, you're not gonna win an arm wrestling match with this dude, but you know, it's good to have you know, a little more beef there. And if you've seen the pictures of the NECA version, he's got even beefier arms. So, hey, we like the beef here in the US. So you got waist swivel. You got 2, actually, 2 points right there. I think that's pretty awesome. You know, that looks really good in there. So really works well. Thigh is really good. Some good motion there. The knees, you don't got much, guys. Sorry. Just the design of it. You could go a little bit forward like that, but not so much in the back. Although, you know, you have that floating knee piece as always. So, but this time you're not getting much there. Lots of great detail there, though. Look at that. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The details are incredible on this figure. You got some ankle, but it doesn't do much either. And, like, nothing in the foot. And you know, like, the design is what it is, but this is how his foot is. So, you're gonna have to just deal with that. If you haven't seen it, if you didn't know, that's what Shin Godzilla's feet are like. So, he's up on his toes. His nails look really good. You know? Little bit of sloppiness on that, but yeah, it's not that bad. You know, his toenails look awesome. Dorsal fins look cool to me. I like all the different red and black bleeding, you know, going on here. His tail, though. This is the main event right here. Segment after segment after segment after I do have a little paint chipping over here. Check that out. See that? Yeah. It's alright. Actually, it's kind of bothering me a little bit. But it's not so bad. I could easily take care of that if I want to. We'll see if I get anything else anywhere. Lots and lots of, like, non-stop segments, guys. This is crazy, crazy, crazy amount. Definitely the most of any Godzilla we've had. And it ends in this crazy tail. So, this is interesting because this is way lighter than I expected it to be. And it's the lightest point in the entire figure. And just like the movie, it's like the creepiest thing about Shin Godzilla. Is this bony tail that we all thought was a second face. It's not. It just comes off that way, the way, you know, everything kind of twists, all the bones twist and turn all the way to the end there. Just sort of ended up looking like a face, and then that's why when he's like shooting it out, it looks like he's shooting out of another mouth. But you know what? I wouldn't put it past the designers, even though they're saying no, that was a thing that they did on purpose. But which I dig. Look, it's the way it is. You know, look, you can't tell me that doesn't look like a face. Come on. Again, I thought this was going to be a little more bloody than it is. Not bloody, but yeah, a little more bloody. Like a little darker red, but it's not, and I kind of dig that. It breaks up everything at the very end here. I think that's awesome. This tail is incredible. I love it, really. So, there you go. Shin Godzilla. I like it. I like it a lot. I am happy with my purchase. Very much so. It's an impressive design and an impressive figure. Overall, I definitely think he's worth the money. Again, your mileage is going to vary on these little problems. I'm really looking forward to some of my fellow YouTube reviewers. The guys that have been doing the kaiju way longer than me, for YouTube, and I'm much more critical, so I'm really looking forward to hearing some more opinions on this. But me personally, I dig it. I like what I see. I don't mind the problems. I justify the problems for myself, and honestly, this figure is for me. So, I don't have to sell you on it. You need to sell yourself. So, the price. It's not cheap. I paid $126 shipped, all honesty. And that's US. So, you're going to have to decide if that or more. I saw this on Ami's eBay shop for $175 already. So, it is what it is. It's not going to be an easy get. For the price, that's going to be up to you. But I think it's worth it. I think he's really awesome. I really dig it. My biggest problem is this extra little gloss here, and I'm gonna try to fix that a bit. It just doesn't look like any other point on the figure, so that's to me is the big bother. But that aside, I think this is awesome, and this is definitely gonna be on my figure of the year list, and probably pretty high. I'm just so blown away by just the sheer stature of this thing and just the way it comes off. Oh, one other thing I really want to point out. Be careful. He is very sharp. I cut myself here, even though my skin is a little dry on my fingers and they're cracking anyway. Definitely I cut myself during the unboxing on his teeth. So watch out. They're little jagged little things. So, be careful there, and his spikes are really spiky as well, so just a bit of caution. Be really careful with it, because he's gonna make you look like a him. Alright? That's it. Actually, one other thing. I know some people wanted to see this. What does he look like with a beam effect? Here's Spitfire's beam effect. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's open them up. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think that works. That's a nice. This was a great beam. I really like the look of this. Let's end it where is it? It really starts right there, right? It's on him. It's not all the way at the end. It's So let's end it with that shot, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this guy and your thoughts on my thoughts on this guy. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Definitely subscribe if you can. Definitely going to have a lot more videos, especially if you're a Godzilla fan. I have quite a few to do here. And I also have some older NECA ones I'm going to be doing as well that I just recently finally got. So I have a lot of Godzilla, I have a lot of other things. Please feel free to look around, check it out. Come to my Facebook page, Ultrazilla Toys. I will have pics of this guy, pics of the incredible looking box this guy comes in, all very soon, all this week. So give it a check. It's definitely a little Godzilla week here at Ultrazilla Toys. And until next time, peace out, peeps.